Have you ever pondered the ramifications of a nuclear war? An event so cataclysmic it would echo through centuries. At the onset of a nuclear conflict, immediate destruction and loss of life would be inevitable. The detonation of nuclear weapons would unleash intense heat, blast waves, and radiation, causing unfathomable casualties and property damage. Major cities and military bases would likely be the primary targets, leading to the swift and horrific loss of millions of lives. Following this initial chaos, a humanitarian crisis would ensue. Survivors would be left grappling with a severe shortage of medical supplies, personnel, food, clean water, and shelter. The struggle for basic survival would become a grim reality for those left in the aftermath. But the devastation wouldn't stop there. The environmental impact of nuclear detonations would cause radioactive fallout, contaminating the air, soil, and water. Radioactive particles could be carried by winds, affecting regions far from the original blast sites. This contamination would pose long-lasting health threats to both humans and ecosystems. That fallout could also trigger a phenomenon known as a nuclear winter. The massive release of soot and smoke into the upper atmosphere could block sunlight, causing a dramatic drop in temperatures. This would disrupt agriculture and lead to widespread famine. The ripple effects could trigger additional global catastrophes. Simultaneously, the global economy would take a severe hit. Infrastructure and industrial capacity would crumble, potentially leading to a global economic recession or even depression. Trade and supply chains would be disrupted, and recovery could take many years. Survivors in contaminated areas would face the risk of radiation sickness, cancer, and other long-term health issues. Increased rates of birth defects and genetic mutations could also become a frightening reality in affected regions. Migration and displacement would become a global issue. Survivors would become refugees, leading to a massive wave of migration. Neighboring countries could be overwhelmed by refugees, straining international relations and resources. In the wake of such a conflict, the geopolitical landscape would be fundamentally altered. Nations not directly involved in the conflict may seek to exploit the situation to further their interests, leading to additional conflicts, alliances, and power shifts. And amidst all this, there would be the enduring psychological trauma. The collective trauma of a nuclear war could have lasting societal effects, impacting generations. So, what can we glean from this grim narrative? A nuclear war is a catastrophic event with far-reaching consequences. It has the potential to result in immediate destruction and loss of life, trigger a humanitarian crisis, cause environmental devastation, instigate a nuclear winter, collapse the global economy, inflict long-term health effects, provoke migration and displacement, destabilize the global political landscape, and leave an enduring psychological impact. In essence, a nuclear war is not just a war, it's a potential end of the world as we know it. The only viable solution is to work tirelessly towards disarmament, peaceful conflict resolution, and diplomacy. Because in a nuclear war, there are no winners, only survivors.